Join me as I take you on a tour through Rome and the Vatican City. Our journey starts at the Roman Forum, a sprawling, ancient and historic plaza filled with ruins of vital government buildings, temples, and more. With many of the structures here being built between the 7th century BC and 6th century AD, it was once the heart of the Roman world. Our trip through the Forum was with a tour guide, which offered a quick entrance and a wealth of information. The downside, though, was the lack of being able to freely explore and focus on things that most interested us. The Temple of Antonius and Faustina is one of the best preserved buildings in the Forum. Having since been converted to a church, I wouldn't recommend using that green door. The remnants of ancient Rome give you just enough to let your imagination spin, but also longing for more. Amongst the many structures, be sure to check out the Temple of Caesar, which marks the site where Julius Caesar was cremated. If you're looking for a great vantage point, the top of Palatine Hill is the place to go. Unfortunately, due to the constantly moving tour we were on, we only got to walk through it but not go to the top. Before making our way over to the Colosseum tour, we passed by the Arch of Titus. Still part of the Forum, it is the 1st century AD honorific arch constructed shortly after the death of Titus. Various other arch structures have been inspired by this across USA, France, Ireland, and more. Now let's make our way over to one of the most known highlights of Rome, the Colosseum. Completed in 80 AD, it is the largest ancient amphitheater ever built. With the tour package we got a chance to go underground, where the animals, gladiators, and all of the stage magic happened. Today, as you make your way down, you can expect to see various pieces of armor worn by the gladiators, mosaics, and one of the many lifts that was used. There are 4 primary tunnels branching from the center. The west tunnel, used by the gladiators to enter the arena. The east tunnel, used as exit for the fallen gladiators. The north tunnel, used as a passage for high-ranking dignitaries from their palaces. And the south tunnel, which led to off-site workshop and storage depot. Seeing the size of the lift up close, it took about 8 men to operate a single one, with up to 224 operators total. Moving back to the arena floor, we get to see how magnificent the Colosseum must have been, and still is. At its peak, the Roman Colosseum had a capacity of around 65,000. For those wanting to go to the upper level, a separate ticket is needed. On your way out, there's also a museum on the 2nd tier and a gift shop for those that are interested. Taking a step away from the commonly visited attractions, our next stop is the GAM, or the Game Art Museum of Rome. For a low price of €15, take a step back in time with the titles going back to the 70s. Besides the items on the displays, there are various consoles across different years that can be played for free. There is also a room with the more standard arcade machines. If you have an interest in games or need a break in the routine, it's worth stopping by. Before our last couple stops in Rome, let's take a detour to the Vatican City. With most museums being closed on Monday, it serves as a good day to go to the Vatican. For those not aware, Vatican City is considered a country, surrounded by Rome. It is the home to the Pope, as well as iconic art and architecture. In the pine-cone courtyard stands the bronze sphere within a sphere. Past the courtyard, as we enter the museum, there's a long hall with a Roman portrait bust. Continuing in, all of the beautiful statues and ceilings stall our attention. The round hall is a spectacle imitating the hemispherical vault of the Pantheon. It was completed in 1779. The basin, often called Nero's bathtub, was carved from a single block of rare, dark red Egyptian porphyry. The Gallery of the Tapestries is an 800-foot hall with a vast collection of woven tapestries dating back to the 15th and 17th century. Past the tapestries stands another beautiful hall called the Gallery of Maps. With beautiful ceilings spanning the hall, it has 40 geographical maps of the different regions of Italy. An honorable mention for the Sistine Chapel that is at the end of the museum. Recording and photography is not allowed, but you can find images online, or better yet, take a trip if you can. Our last stop at the Vatican is St. Peter's Basilica, the largest church in the world and the holiest site in the Catholicism. Built over the tomb of St. Peter, it features Renaissance and Baroque architecture with iconic works by Michelangelo and Bernini. For those visiting, make sure to wear shirts with sleeves and pants to be safe. Michelangelo's Pieta is a renowned marble masterpiece of Mary holding Jesus. Heading towards the altar stands a large bronze canopy designed by Bernini. It marks the sacred location of St. Peter's tomb. Shortly, we will have a closer look. Seeing the iconic dome will take your breath away, and for those that are interested, you can buy a ticket and take the 551-step climb. The dome, originally designed by Michelangelo, was finished by Giacomo della Porta and Domenico Fontana. While about 91 popes are buried here, I was surprised to see Pope John XXIII entombed in a glass coffin. As we made our way outside, we got to see the St. Peter's Square with the ancient Egyptian obelisk and two large fountains. Connecting the Vatican State with the city of Rome, it offers a majestic approach to St. Peter's Basilica. Heading back into Rome, we made a quick stop at the Trevi Fountain. A popular attraction, it gets very crowded, and getting up close comes at a price of €2. Concluding our journey through Rome, our final stop is the Spanish Steps. Another popular destination, it features a monumental Baroque staircase of 135 steps. Every spring they are lined with thousands of blooming pink azaleas, which we were lucky enough to see. Getting to the top of the stairs, you'll find the Trinita dei Monti church and a beautiful view of the city. Thank you for joining my tour through Rome.